Okay. Banking facility letter dated 23rd December 2002 from Standard Chartered Bank to Premier Agro Oils Gambia Limited. No landed property offered as collateral security, and related documents in a bundle. Admitted Mark BB 80.
Can I have the exhibits, please? Mr. Jai, what was the...
It was the plant itself.
The plant?
Oil, yes.
Without the title to the property? With or without the title to the property?
I can't answer that unless I see the
Was
document.
the title deed that is mentioned, was it handed over to government?
I believe it must have been handed over.
We can't hear you.
I'm not too sure, but I believe it may have been. Yes.
Could you check your archives whether this title deed was handed over to government?
No, I'm not too sure.
Could you check your archives?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, unless there are any questions for the witness, I'd like to move on to Kairaba Beach Hotel.
Mr. Njai,
Yes, please.
do you have, I don't know whether it's in the bank's records, the memorandum and articles of Premier Agro Oil? Would you have a copy?
We are currently searching for that. Remember this, a search is ongoing in the archives to get hold of the account opening forms, which should ordinarily have the memorandum and articles of association.
Okay. Yes, we would like to be provided with that because we expect the bank to have one. So if you do, please, can you forward it to us?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Jai, we'll move on to Kairaba Beach Hotel. You were summoned with regard to an overdraft or a loan you might have given to the owners of Kairaba Beach Hotel at the time. The evidence before this commission is that Al-Qarafi and Sons, that's Mohammed Abdul Mohsin Al-Qarafi and Sons, acquired the hotel, and payments for the acquisition were made through your bank because a facility then existed with your bank.
Yeah.
We would like your bank to assist us regarding this transaction.
We have made an extensive search for the Kairaba file, Kairaba Beach Hotel file, To date, we've not had any success on that. However, the facility was extended to having inquired through ex-colleagues of ours. A facility indeed was granted to the Enquiry Beach Hotel to the tune of $2,500,000, which was for the purpose of renovation of the hotel.
How do you know this? Are you speaking from memory, or did you take part in the transaction?
No, I didn't. I said we spoke to ex-colleagues, ex-employees of Standard Chartered Bank who happened to handle these transactions.
Specifically who?
We spoke to Lamin Sane, who is outside of Gambia, who was the relationship manager at the time. And we spoke to Bernard Mendy, who was the head of corporate at the time. And what they said was there was a facility extended to, short-term facility extended to the Enquiry Beach Hotel, purpose for renovation for the upcoming tourist season then. And it was to the tune of $2.5 million. And indeed, we did receive a transfer of $10 million for Enquiry, and with instruction to remit the $7.5 million to the trust bank. So the facility was liquidated from the proceeds of this inward telegraphic transfer, and the balance of $7.5 million remitted to the trust bank.
Okay, let's start with where you started. Why can't you find the Enquiry Beach Hotel file?
Again, it's the issue of the, like I said, we still were doing the search for this file. And then, mind you, this is about 15 years ago. The retention period for documents generally is 7 years, in line with...
Yes, but you have produced the files for Premier,
Yes.
which is 2000 and...
Counsel,
Yes.
can we take you back a little bit?
Yes.
The summons was to the managing director of Standard Chartered. We didn't get a reason why he's not here. Were you told why he's not here?
Yes, we understand he traveled. Is that correct?
Yes, he is outside of jurisdiction. He
Yes.
has traveled.
I should have gotten that.
When is he back?
He's back. He's out of town until Monday week.
In a week's time. Okay. We have a concern regarding functional segregation. A retail person talking on corporate matters. There is a Chinese wall in terms of knowledge and authority. Talking without the file as the source of information and just relying on messages relayed from ex-colleagues is a bit, we're concerned about the accuracy. Please, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sure Mr. Jai takes note. Certainly, if the managing director, are you the next most senior person?
I sit here in the capacity of acting CEO.
Acting CEO.
Yes, please.
Very, very well. We did relay a message that if he was not available, the person acting should come.
Yeah.
I believe that's why you came.
Yes.
All right. Nevertheless, you could have brought the officer responsible. If you had an officer responsible for this area in the bank, he could have come with you. Are you comfortable proceeding on giving evidence on this matter, or would you like to come back with the person responsible, either yourself or your CEO, with the person who would be in charge of this area in your bank?
I can proceed.
You can proceed.
Yes, please.
All right. You have to, of course, bear in mind that the manner in which you have commenced is in the nature of giving hearsay evidence.
Yes.
We would have to call those people that you mentioned. And of course, if you do have persons responsible in your bank, we would have to call them. They may have some specific knowledge that you don't have. But you may proceed. As I was asking, you said you don't have the file.
Yes.
And I'm pointing out that you do have the Premier Agro file. Why would you have any difficulty in retrieving this transaction, which also took place maybe a year or two earlier than Premier Agro?
Mm-hmm. Again, like I said earlier, we've made an extensive search of the archives itself, but can't find this particular file. As of now, we are not unable to locate the file. That is the Kairaba file. Having said that, the Premier Agro file was in a different location, and it was kept in a safe, and that's where we're able to access this.
Why was it in a different location? These are all credits, right?
Yes.
Okay. Could you explain?
I mean, it's the nature of the filing, actually. That's it. There is no particular reason why the Premier Agro or the Kairaba, they're in different areas. But like I said, I mean, the retention period for these documents is 7 years. Sometimes we hold on to it much longer than usual, and but we'll continue to make this search for this Kairaba beach. I believe we may still have the credit file relating to the Kairaba beach.
Yes, but there is no record that it was destroyed, is there?
No.
Okay. And you cannot destroy it without approval from Central Bank, can you?
No, we don't require Central Bank approval to destroy our documents. I mean, we go by the detention standards, and which is 7 years. That's what we go by. But like I said, sometimes of our own volition, we may decide to hold on to documents much longer than that.
What would be the rationale for holding on to a document?
Again, there is no hard and fast rule about it. It depends on the, number one, the capacity that we have for storage. Two, it could be to do with the, if it is to do with the statements, it's got to do with the system's availability. About 20 years after, then you might just want to keep holding to hard copies for not being able to restore some of these documents.
All right. Let's go back to the facts of the transaction itself. You're speaking for the bank, so we will proceed on that basis. Kairaba Beach Hotel, of course, is a trade name.
Yes.
Do you know the company to which the facility was granted?
Like I said, I don't have any documents on me, but it was from the information provided. It was provided to the Kairaba Beach Hotel.
All right. As I said, the Kairaba Beach Hotel is a trade name. As per the evidence that was given to this commission, at the time that it was being acquired by the company that sold to Muhammad Abdul Mohsen Al-Qarafi, it was owned by Millennium Industrial and General Trading. Previous to that, it was owned by Side Gambia Invest. Previous to that, it was in receivership. So we would like you to be able to confirm to which of these companies the facility was availed, if you can. If you can't, we will adjourn this session so that you do a further search of this file. Okay. You don't have this statement of account through which payments were made to Trust Bank. We specifically did request that you provide it.
No, I don't have that.
But that would be available. Even if the file cannot be found, I presume the statement of account can be made available. You would have it.
We'll make the search for the statement.
All right. It's important because there is some controversy surrounding the sale and who transacted this sale. So we would urge the bank to really produce that file.
We'll surely do that.
All right. Mr. Chairman, unless you have questions for the witness.
Yes, I'll say this, that in view of the fact that the witness was not in corporate banking, we want to make clear that the subpoena the next subpoena will be directed to the managing director himself. So you'll tell him the information that is required, because he himself is required to come next time. All right?
I take note, Chairman.
Thank you. It was actually directed to the managing director, and they did call to say he traveled. And I said if he did travel since an institution, the person next in charge should come.
Yes, I agree. But I want to make it clear that the next time does not relate to you. The next time relates to the managing director himself. I think that is very clear.
Very clear.
You understand, Mr. Jai?
Very clear. I take note.
Yes. And of course, we know managing directors change, and it's unlikely that the person who was there at this time is the same person. So he should come with his officers, whoever can be of assistance to the Commission. We just want to know the facts so that it's clear. Thank you.
That will be conveyed.
All right. You said he would be back on Monday?
No, sorry. He's out of jurisdiction for the next 10 days. I mean, he's back. I don't have a calendar on me, so he should be back.
By the 18th, he would be here?
Yes, he'll be around.
Okay. All right. If he could, Mr. Chairman, will adjourn this matter to the 18th at 2:30. 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
On the 18th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well, you may leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Commissioners, I call Mr. Abdullah Cham. Might be convenient time for a break.
Yeah.
Mr. Cham, when you were here the last time, the 29th of November, at the tail end of your testimony, you were describing to the commissioners a mission that you conducted in relation to a loan you were trying to, this bank or the government wanted to raise from the federal is it Federal Bullion Reserve Corporation, New York? Bullion, right?
Yeah.
Reserve Corporation, New York.
Yeah.
Now, could you start from there and explain like, what this was? We had difficulty in understanding what you were saying, so could you start this again?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am. This was in November 2001 when myself and the manager of foreign department of the bank were given a power of attorney to travel to London to sign the instructions relating to the release of the Standard Chartered Bank Gambia Limited, who referred us to Standard Chartered Bank at Aldermanbury in London.
Okay, you said you contacted
Standard Chartered Bank Banjul, who referred us to Standard Chartered Bank London at Aldermanbury. Now, we arrived in London, lodged into...
They referred to you, Standard Chartered Bank London, for what purpose?
Yeah. I mean, because we wanted clarification as to the type of transaction they wanted us to embark on, and the amounts involved and the risks of signing out a guarantee that would have pledged the reserves of this country. We went there.
Which would have led to the reserves?
Yeah, we would have pledged because that would be the guarantee. Okay? Now, we visited Standard Chartered Bank. We lodged into a hotel. In the morning, we visited Standard Chartered Bank. And after that, during the discussion, we all concluded this was a non-starter. From there, we went back to our hotel. In the hotel, the party to the transaction came. And with them was a local businessman by the name of Musa Musa.
What did you say, local businessman?
Yeah, a Lebanese by the name of Musa Musa. Okay? Now, what relationship he had with government business to have organized that for that meeting to meet these people.
I think they are having difficulty picking you.
Okay. A bit louder. Okay, I can. Yeah, okay. At the hotel, we were called down to the lobby. These guys came, and there was a Lebanese businessman, Musa Musa, who was coordinating this whole transaction. Now, there and then, our fears were proven. We said, hang on, this cannot be on. Therefore, we said, we were not going along with this transaction. And also, another thing that caught our attention was the location where such a transaction was to be consummated.
The location?
Yeah. A $150 million facility with people who have no place of business but a hotel lobby. I mean, that made us put this whole transaction upon inquiry. And we said, no, we are not going to go ahead with this. The other thing was the comportment. The other thing was the comportment of the people that were supposed to be the other party to the transaction. Yeah, they came in dressed funnily. They came dressed funnily. One had a spear. One had a spear. The other had a fly whisk. The other had probably, like the Ghanaians would wear their kente. And
were they Africans?
No, they are, I don't know, they're white. They're not African. You see, and that was ridiculous. And I don't know what perception they had of people they were meeting for this transaction. But looking at their demeanor, we say, hang on, this cannot be anything serious. So we decided there and then to abort and come back home, no matter what the consequences. And that was the end. So this is the power of authority that we were given
You were given by who?
By the central bank.
Okay.
And
Whose name was on the power of attorney?
Myself as head of finance and Mr. Conte as the head of foreign operations. And these are two Minister of Finance guarantee letters signed by the minister. And it was a question of choosing one that was most appropriate to the occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Choosing one that was most appropriate.
Pardon?
You say it was a question of choosing one that was?
We had a choice.
You had a choice, either to choose one of
the two.
What is the difference between the two?
We did not even bother reading.
Sorry?
We did not read. I cannot see the difference.
Okay.
I cannot see the difference.
All right, we'll look at it.
But you'll look at that and you'll tell me. Okay, it is. Sorry.
So what was the collateral, this guarantee?
The
it was
just they were going to give us a collateral which we had to sign, and that would have pledged the reserves of the central bank.
Or they are to give you another document?
Yeah, they were to give you another document which we did not.
You would charge the reserves of the central bank. Is that possible, to charge the reserves of the central bank?
That would be the guarantee.
Okay. All right, let's have the documents.
Yeah, thank you.
It didn't go through.
No,
as far as you know, did the government borrow any money in relation to this?
No, they did not borrow any money. It did not go through. We aborted and we came back.
All right.
That was it. Thank you.
Certainly will give us context as to the mindset maybe during that period.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any other document you would like to have admitted so that I can put them together? Do you have any other document?
Yeah, sure.
What is that document?
This from the Federal Bullion Reserve.
It's in relation to the same. It's in relation to the same transaction.
Yeah, it's in relation to that.
All right, let's have it.
All right.
Mr. Cham, there is mention in this part of attorney of
21st November.
An agreement between the government of the Republic of the Gambia and FBRC, which is the Federal Bullion Reserve Corporation, for a loan facility of 150 million. Did you ever see such a loan, such an agreement?
Pardon?
There is mention in this part of attorney of an agreement between the government and this corporation. Did you see such an agreement?
No. We're just given that.
Now, one of the documents you have handed over to me is from a Jewel Finance Corporation.
Yeah.
Is there any connection between this Jewel Finance Corporation and this transaction? Jewel Finance Corporation. Can you show him the document? There is also a fax from one Mr. Harvey addressed to Mr. Bijan, but it's not signed. Could you tell us what this is about also?
This, I mean, it would be part of it would be part of that, because attached to it is the loan schedule repayment.
But if you look at that loan schedule repayment, it's about 180 something thousand. Can you look at it again?
Yeah, I have seen that. It would probably be the interest on the 150 million loan.
Okay, it's part of what you are saying is part of this document.
Yeah, I would say it is part of it. Yeah. Okay.
But who is Jewel? Jewel, the corporation mentioned. Who are they?
I don't know. I don't know them.
How did you get that document?
It was given to us from the Minister of Finance.
The Minister of Finance?
Minister of Finance, yeah.
Okay. What about the fax from Mr. Bamijan? The fax to Mr. Bamijan?
It was all a part of it. It was all of part of the documentation we received.
All right.
Yeah.
That's your evidence. Can we have it? Honorable Commissioners, may I apply to have admitted documents containing a letter from the Department of State for Finance and Economic Affairs signed by D.B. Jan, Permanent Secretary to the General Manager, Central Bank of the Gambia, with regard to a loan facility connected to FBRC, Ministry of Finance guarantees, power of attorney, and correspondence between FBRC, Federal Bullion Reserve Corporation, and the Ministry of Finance, and other documents said by the witness to be in connection with the transaction.
In fact, maybe you should. Ministry of Finance guarantee dated 21st November 2001 relating to a loan agreement between the Republic of the Gambia and the Federal Bullion Reserve Corporation of Los Angeles, California, USA, for the sum of $150 million United States dollars and related documents. Admitted and marked.
Just a question. Mr. Cham, I just need a few clarification on the evidence so far tendered. It's commendable that you did not sign such a loan agreement. At least our funds were safe. When I mean our funds, the people, the Gambian people's funds were safe. So that's commendable. But just asking, you mentioned before about they wanted to use the reserves as collateral. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah.
Yes. Is that mentioned in the loan agreement? We've not gone through, so I'm just asking.
See, that's why, because this is a government loan agreement. Ordinarily, Central Bank of the Gambia would not have anything to do with it upon signing, okay? It should be given a sovereign guarantee, and that would be enough. But this was not the case. That's why we were given that power of attorney. And what we were supposed to receive from the other party, Federal Reserve, whoever were arranging that, was to sign off for them, which would have effectively pledged the reserves of the Central Bank. That's why we were given the power of attorney to do that. Okay? And as I said, we have had our apprehensions, but when we went there and there was this Lebanese, Musa, present, trying to coordinate.
Can you just raise your tempo just
and
a little bit? Yeah.
I said we have had our apprehensions about this whole thing, the involvement of the central bank and our signatures. But when we found a Lebanese there by the name of Musa, trying to coordinate this with the counterparties who came to finalize the transactions, our fears were confirmed. And we said, hang on, this cannot go on, this cannot be normal, and therefore we aborted. And that was it.
Okay, that's very clear. It's from the documents. It's very clear. It's just your trip. When I mean you as the financial controller and the manager of foreign department, it was just to endorse the agreement. Because it's like everything was preconceived. That's what we gather from this. It's quite interesting because we also see the Dual Finance Corporation, which we know was asked before as well. They were sending